So this is a question that I've actually been asked a lot of what I feel is the future for Resident Evil. And it's kind of an interesting one to talk about because it's kind of hard to figure out where the series should go or can go or what should it do at this point. Let's face it, Resident Evil is not going to slow down anytime soon in terms of getting more games because ever since Resident Evil 7 came out, oh, the franchise has been selling like hotcakes. And yeah, we've gotten some remakes and we've gotten some new entries as well, but what do you do at this point? Now, a lot of people will say, hey, give us Outbreak. And honestly, because of how these Monster Hunter games have been, especially since, Monster Hunter World, when that first came out a couple years ago, well, that thing sold like hotcakes, and it has the online multiplayer experience that you could technically translate that into a new age of Outbreak. And I think that would be fantastic. Could they actually go and make the Chronicle games? I've actually been playing Resident Evil The Umbrella Chronicles, which we just finished this morning on the Road Twitch, and honestly, I think there could be room for a new Chronicles game. It would be fantastic to see that in this day and age because, well, it only goes up to essentially the events of Code Veronica and a couple of ones after. So you've got legit Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, and to be fair, you could probably throw 7 in there as a light gun game as well. You've got options like that, or other people have said, hey, what if we just reboot the whole series? Now, the thing of it is, I don't think you'd really need to reboot Resident Evil in any way. I think that the world has kind of been established enough to where you can make new stories in there. Now, I know a lot of people aren't really like a fan of the vampire ladies and the Lycans and all that kind of stuff, the Mega Mycete and everything, but I don't mind it as much as other people don't. And I think that you could kind of create different aspects in the Resident Evil world where you have events like that. Or during the events of Umbrella's downfall and even after their downfall, you do spin-off stories like the Revelation series with newer characters and, of course, some older characters to give you that familiarity. I think Resident Evil still has some steam left in it, but I think you also have to really stop and consider, don't turn it into the Fast and Furious where you're going to eventually, take Resident Evil into space, because that's just something that I don't think any of us really want. I don't think a lot of people. I certainly don't want to see Resident Evil go to space. So whatever the case may be, we're going to keep getting Resident Evil games for, I feel, a long time. Just depends what they're going to do with them.